Well, looks like it's time to play, kid. One of the losers who claimed ownership of me at the time said as he approached the cage, wearing his usual tattered leathered vest, covered in old patches, tears and stains, a mohawk of brown hair held up with grease, who reeked of alcohol, basically at all times. And this moron just got me killed. You should be happy, kid. I got you a sweet deal. This little match of yours should set us up for a while. If you win, then we'll be able to stop shorting your food. Wouldn't you like some food, kid? Maybe even meat? All you gotta do is survive this little Royal Rumble. It's a 4 against 4 match. Every man for himself. The guys I made the wager with are suckers. They think age counts for everything. They think just because those guys are older they can win. But they're all newbies. None of them have any fighting experience in the ring. Normally, your age difference would mean that wouldn't matter too much. But I placed a lot of importance on the age difference on purpose. Managed to pull a ringer. Hey, Chevy, he said, turning his head as he took another swig of the bottle he was currently downing. Throw him in there. Be careful. Remember, he bit off 2 of his last owner's fingers. You want to keep your digits, I suggest you keep them clear, he said to a much more portly individual, one of the lackeys of his gang, as he cautiously approached the cage, trying to slip in what looked like 2 iron bars, very thin and short cut. Because of the age differential, kid, I got you clearance for weaponry. To even the odds, meaning you're going up against a bunch of rank amateurs and you have weapons to boot. Yeah, the fact that you're a kid kind of make the odds slip against you, but the weapons even things out nicely. And you're experienced enough to know how to fight, how to not hold back. As far as your opponents go, none of them have claimed even a single win. In fact, for 2 of them, this is only their first time. They've never been thrown in. I checked them over myself. They're deer in the headlights. Play your cards right and you'll live. If you live, you eat. And if you eat, you live to fight another day. Come on, Grease, why are you wasting your time talking to that brat? It's not like he understands anything you're saying. He's basically just an animal. I mean, has he ever spoken to you? That was Grease's main squeeze. His girl. You usually found her hanging around him. You'd think that because she was a girl, she might be nicer. But in actuality, she was one of the most cruel. She was actually the one in charge of giving me food. However, she'd frequently short me, giving me as little as she possibly could, sometimes spilling the food altogether, and claiming I was responsible. She'd laugh maniacally about it, of course, and it wasn't like Grease was going to punish his girl, even if he knew better. Between me and her, she's obviously the one he found more valuable. She approached behind Grease, hanging off of him as usual, wrapping her arms around the back of his neck, placing her head on his shoulders. I honestly think the brat's gonna die. Good riddance if you ask me. It's not like he's good for anything, except these pity-ante bets. He's won a few matches, but it's all good luck. It's more about you picking good matches for him than any measure of skill that little brat has. He couldn't fight his way out of a paper bag. I personally hope he gets the splat. Hey, babe, don't talk like that. Remember, victory is money, Grease replied, smiling over his shoulder. And the amount of money we should be claiming for this match more than quadruples what we've made on any of his other matches. We'll be able to have one hell of a party if he pulls off a win." It was at that point that their pudgy associate rapidly slid the iron bars into the cage, backing away as quickly as he could, scared that he might lose a few fingers. Jerk-offs. That guy might have been missing 2 fingers, but I think I'm the one who got the shit end of that deal. His fingers tasted like he hadn't washed them for a month. It took a week to get the taste out. So I wasn't exactly in a rush to do it again. I walked over and picked up the iron bars. They were fairly sized correctly, so that I could use them. I'm surprised they actually sized them to me this well, I thought to myself as I held them. Grease thought he was smart, but he was an idiot. These weapons might give me some sort of edge for a moment, but they also make me a huge target. Unlike me, the adults didn't need weapons in order to be able to hold their own against each other. I was the weaker one. Frankly, more valuable than taking me out of the match is the weapons that I'm holding. If they're able to knock me out, they can take them for themselves. And in a death match, having a weapon on your side turns everything to your advantage, especially when it's supposed to be an even fight. So whoever takes me out gets the weaponry. Once they get the weaponry, they have the advantage, so the chances are they win. Rather than helping me, mostly, these things just put a huge target on my back. Even if these guys are newbies, it doesn't mean they're going to be completely stupid. And there's still a very good chance that this is just going to end up with me dead. But since he already made the deal, I have to make the best of it. If I play my cards right, maybe I can get them to ignore me, pretend that I'm afraid, and try to stick to myself, let them fight it out. If it's their first time in, they might avoid me, because I'm a kid, fight it out amongst each other. No, that's not gonna happen. They might be new to the ring, but the people that own them, they've been doing this for a while, and I recognize all of them. They're most likely telling their fighters, if that's what you can call them at all, we're really just slaves. Regardless, they're probably telling them right now to go for me out of the gate, get my weapons so that they can win the fight, which once again brings us back around to me being the prime target. I thought to myself as I turned around, beginning to face back into the ring. It was about that time that the announcer started to speak up. "Hello and welcome, degenerates, to the Blood Calf Arena. Our next exciting display of brutality is going to be a 4-match. A simple 4-way between 4 different opponents. One an 8-time winner. At least his latest string is. In total, this little titan, this savage little miniature, has managed to ring up a total of 14 wins and 8 losses. Meanwhile, his competitors do have size on their side. However, we're dealing with a bunch of fresh fish here. None of these competitors have stepped foot in the ring before. And the tiny Titan Terror is going to be armed with some weaponry. I'm actually curious about how this is going to play out. Will experience and preparation outweigh the massive size differential, as well as the differential in physical strength? Regardless of what way you swing it, there will be blood. And that's of course what we all came to see, right? The announcer said, as the lights above the cages began to glow. It was the warning signal for them about to open up the cage. I'd like to remind everybody that this is a black flag match to the death. Only one of these contestants will be exiting the cage. Who will win? Who will lose? Who will be splattered in a bloody mess? I can't wait to find out.